Hello, my name is Jasmine. If you're new to this whole Detox Depo, I wanted to introduce myself. So my name is Jasmine. We gave birth to our daughter on January 26th, and she was stillborn. So I got the Depo shot right after, and instead of stopping bleeding, before I got it, they gave it to me in the hospital, so I continuously bled for April, so for about 3 months. The 3 months that the Depo is supposed to be in my system. Right now it's the 11th week that it's been in my system, and my doctor told me that it actually takes around 10 to 11 weeks for it to get out of your system. But online it said 14 to 15. So, tell you about my journey. So, I actually started on March 15th. I started on March 15th taking this Yogi Detox Tea, and I would actually do, I think, 16 ounces of water, so 2 cups of water. 2 cups of water with 1 tea bag, not realizing that you're supposed to do 8 cups of water. Well, not 8 cups of water. You're supposed to do 8 ounces of water with 1 tea bag. So I started that on March 15th. That's the Yogi Detox Tea. And then I started on the 16th taking prenatals that I already had from when I was pregnant. And I've been taking those ever since. And right now it is April 12th. So I bled the whole time my Depo was supposed to be in my system, which has been 3 months. And my usual morning consists of taking the detox tea with lemon water, prenatal, and I think that was it at that point. So lemon water and prenatal with detox tea, and lemon water because it's a natural detoxer. And I drink a whole bunch of water. I would saran wrap my waist, so when I sweat more, because we would go outside and be outside a whole lot. That kind of helped as with healing. Not, you never completely heal, but it helped with it. And then sometimes I would do the trash bag where it'd be most of my body covered. So around April 2nd is when I started taking the Prim oil, which is this. I got it from GMC, the Evening Prim's oil. It's 500, and I take 2 of them. I don't know if you can see the bag, but I take 2 of them. I can't actually swallow the pills, and they're capsules. So what I do is I actually take a piece of bread, I break it open, the pill open, which looks like this. I take this, I break it open with my teeth, and then I squirt the oil onto the piece of bread, which it doesn't taste like nothing. It tastes like if you were... Olive oil has a stronger taste than Prim oil. At first it was sweet, but then it was just like no taste. And then I break up the capsule with my teeth and break it up into small pieces, and then I eat the whole piece of bread with the capsule and the oil on it. And that's only because I can't swallow pills, so you can do it your own way. If you can swallow pills, by all means, just swallow the pill. So April 2nd is when I started taking it, and then April 4th, I have an open tooth in my mouth, so I had a toothache, and I decided to take some ibuprofen. I've taken it before, but it didn't do nothing as far as stopping me from bleeding, and I looked online, and of course they said online that when you take the ibuprofen, it stops you from bleeding. So before, it didn't stop me from bleeding, and that was around, I would say, probably beginning of March, into February, when I took that ibuprofen. It was 800. And then I took ibuprofen 800 on the 4th through the 7th because my tooth was hurting, and it actually stopped my bleeding. Now, I was excited, like, yay, my bleeding stopped. I finally stopped bleeding because I was bleeding for 3 months. But it came back on, I think, like in between them days, it came back on the times that I didn't. So I can go maybe 7-8 hours without taking the ibuprofen, and it's stopping me from bleeding. Sometimes 12 hours, but it would come back, and it'll come back normal, meaning heavy red, dark red flow, with blood clots. Not huge blood clots. I would say probably the size of a baby aspirin size blood clots. And then from the 8th to the 10th, without me taking the ibuprofen, I had stopped morning bleeding. So I wouldn't bleed in the morning or at night, but I would bleed throughout the day, and it would still be the red, and I would have to change my pad maybe 4 times a day. And that was also because I had got thicker pads. Last time I had smaller pads, and so I would have to change them constantly because they wouldn't absorb as much. And then I slowly slowed down in bleeding. I got to the point where it would just be brown spot. So it'd be a brown spot at the top of my pad, and it wasn't spotting. It was a little bit heavier than that. It wasn't like, oh well, I'm going to stop bleeding tomorrow. No, I didn't believe I was just going to stop bleeding tomorrow, because when I took the ibuprofen the first time, it didn't stop my bleeding. It just delayed it. So I ended up on the 9th, I started taking milkthistle. I sound like a rapper. I started taking milkthistle with my usual detox stuff. So around April, I was done with this. So I started this, which is the everyday detox. And on this box, you're supposed to use 8 ounces with it, but I was using 16 to start off, and then I started slowly going down to 8. So I take this in the morning with lemon water. I would take that, steep it. I would drink lemon water, eat something, so I have something on my stomach, and I would take a prenatal. And this was before I started with the milkthistle thing. And this is how the bottle looked. I got all this from GMC, and this one was actually on sale for $10. So this is the one I got, and it says on the bottle 1 capsule, but I've seen that people are supposed to take 2. Yeah, 400 milligrams. People say that you're supposed to take 400 milligrams, but I've only been taking 2. That's only because it says it on the bottle, and this is how it looks. So since I can't swallow pills, and I've researched that I can actually open these capsules and take it, and this depends on whoever you are. You don't have to do what I'm doing. So I opened this up and I put it on my tongue, and it actually tastes like milk. It tastes like powdered milk. So in the morning I'll do this. So I insert it into my routine, which is the detox tea. Wake up in the morning, make some hot water for this. I do this, drink me a cup of water with this, eat something. Then I would, and once this cooled down, after my lemon tea, after my lemon water, or before my lemon water, I would do this because it'd be cooled down by then. And then at night, I would take this evening primrose oil, and then I would take some lemon. I would take lemon, the tea bag that I had from the everyday detox earlier. I would let that dry out over the day. I would put that into a little container, pour hot water over it with the lemon, and I would cut the lemon to make sure all the juices came out. Let that sit for a little bit, and then drink that. And so I actually stopped bleeding on April the 11th. And I was very surprised. I didn't believe that was going to happen, because the day before, which was the 10th and the 9th, I was spotting. And it was only once during that day that I was spot. So I would stop bleeding, and on April 11th, and I'm glad I've stopped bleeding for 2 days so far. So I'm going to see how long that it actually lasts. I'm actually nervous to put on regular panties without a pad, because of the fact that I was bleeding for so long, and that's what I'm used to. So I am trying to detox this out of my system, because I do want to get pregnant. I do want to be able to carry the baby to full term, which wasn't the problem before. It was just her heart stopped beating. The things that I'm going to do is start off with this. I went to this, and with this I added these 2, which is the primrose oil and the milkthistle. Now I'm on to the green tea, which I'm drinking with the everyday detox. So I'm doing the green tea to give my system a chance to relax. kind of before, because I've been drinking a detox tea every day for like the past month, I think. Yeah. And so I'm trying to give my system some sort of a rest. And with the green tea, after I get down to 6 of them, I'm going to start with the dandelion tea. I'm going to mix that with the dandelion tea and drink that, which I've researched and it's okay to do. And then once the dandelion tea gets down to 6 without the green tea, I'm going to mix it with the raspberry tea. I had the 7-day cleanse in there before, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 7-day cleanse after all of this. So then I'm going to do the dandelion tea with the raspberry tea, and then the raspberry tea with the peppermint tea. I'm hoping, since this is technically second week of April, that by May we're actually able to conceive. I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen. I know by June we want to move. So I do want to conceive by May. But just pray for us, baby dust everywhere. And thank y'all for watching.